This Beatbot AquaSense 2 promised to revolutionize pool cleaning with fancy words like CleverNav, SonicSense, and Ultrasonic Mapping. But after 2 weeks of testing, I discovered something the company doesn't want you to know. They're charging $1,199 for technology that performs worse than models a fraction of the price. I tested it against 5 other pool robots, and the results were shocking. If you're considering buying this device, watch this first. I'm about to save you hundreds of dollars and countless headaches. Hey there, I'm Justin, your resident pool aficionado, and today we're taking a look at the new Beatbot AquaSense 2. After testing over 30 robotic pool cleaners, I've seen overpriced disappointments before, but this one may take the crown. At this price point, you'd expect serious power, solid filtration, and reliable performance. Instead, the AquaSense 2 delivers underwhelming suction, constant recharging, and filter options that are disappointing. It's not that it doesn't work, it just doesn't work nearly as well as some competitors that outperform it in every way. At over $1,000, the Beatbot AquaSense 2 comes with big promises: cordless convenience, Wi-Fi connectivity, and what they call ultrafine filters. Spoiler alert, are just standard mesh. On paper, it sounds like a solid pick. In reality, not even close. Between the constant need to recharge, an F grade on Mozilla's Fakespot, weak suction, and mediocre filtration, I wouldn't waste my money on this one. But if you're looking for a pool robot that's actually worth it, I've got some better picks for you. But let's get into why the AquaSense 2 falls short, especially when it comes to battery life and suction power, and look at some powerful alternatives that actually get the job done. Design and build quality. The AquaSense 2 goes for the same black plastic aesthetics as the first model. Sure, it looks sharp on day one, but if you live anywhere the sun likes to flex its muscles, black plastic is known to fade quickly. I've seen many become chalky white in the Texas sun. We've seen this happen firsthand to black robots. Here's a quick photo. Time will tell if this newer version holds up better, but let's just say I'm not optimistic. It weighs about 24 pounds, which doesn't sound terrible until you lift it out of the water. Suddenly, you're wrestling a waterlogged, slippery hunk of plastic out of your pool. Even with the included retrieval hook, it's clumsy to grab and more annoying than it needs to be. Battery life and charging. Promises versus reality. Being cordless means it has a battery, and you're babysitting the AquaSense 2, unlike corded robots. There's no real automatic model. There's no set it and forget it weekly timer that just runs automatically. Instead, the battery lasts only a few hours, and then you're continuously charging, dropping it in, pulling it out, and repeating. The idea is that you do a 3-hour charge, toss it in the pool, and then by lunch, your pool should be sparkling. If it needs a second go in the evening, that's another 3-hour charge. And another trip to the pool. That's multiple interactions in a day, every day. It's a lot more than most of us want to deal with. To make matters worse, the suction power feels underwhelming. While powerful corded models can churn the water so much you actually see ripples on the surface, the AquaSense 2 just doesn't. It feels like it's stuck in low power mode. Battery models generally have smaller motors than their corded cousins to conserve energy, but it just doesn't seem to get the job done. Meanwhile, with a corded pool robot, you plug it in once and let it clean for you automatically every single day. You don't have to fish it out after every single run, and you don't have to worry about it losing juice halfway through a job. If you want full pool cleaning automation like you get with other models, this isn't the robot for you. Frustrating charging setup. In my tests, I barely got a full cleaning cycle before the battery ran low, meaning I had to pull it out, let it dry, and dock it for another charge. But here's another real issue. You can only charge it using the included charging stand. That's right, no direct plug-in, no alternative charging method, just a proprietary stand that you must use every single time. Lose or break the stand? Now you're stuck until you replace it. And when you do replace it, Beatbot charges $159 on their site for a replacement. It's an unnecessary limitation that makes recharging more of a hassle than it needs to be. Surface parking. More hype than help. The AquaSense 2 makes a big deal about its surface parking feature. When the battery hits 15%, it's supposed to float to the surface, waiting for you to scoop it out. Sounds convenient, right? Well, not so fast. If you don't get it in time, the battery dies, and it sinks right back to the bottom. So much for easy retrieval, right? Even when it does stay afloat, it's still waterlogged and awkward to pull out. I get that they were trying to make retrieval easier, but in practice, it's just another half-baked feature that doesn't fix the real problem. Cleaning performance, still a mess. Beatbot hypes up improved sensor-based navigation, and advanced path optimization in the AquaSense 2. But after testing it firsthand, I didn't see much improvement. The so-called optimized path looks more like aimless wandering. Corners, often untouched. Steps, hit or miss. And since debris loves to hide in these areas, that's a huge problem. The only noticeable change from the previous model? A couple of small guide wheels on the sides. I guess they're supposed to help prevent scratches on your pool walls, but that's about it. They don't improve navigation, and they don't help it climb better, and they definitely don't make up for its other issues. If this was Beatbot's idea of an upgrade, they missed the mark. A pool cleaner needs better suction, smarter movement, and stronger filtration, not tiny wheels that do nothing to fix the real problems. It handled larger debris like leaves and small twigs decently, but when it came to the small stuff, the sand, the silt, or the dirt, I noticed a frustrating amount left behind, which leads me into one of the most annoying parts of the AquaSense 2. Suction power. Overpromised, underwhelming. Beatbot says the AquaSense 2 moves 5,500 gallons per hour, which sounds great on paper, but after using it, I have a hard time believing that number. Compared to a Dolphin, the suction just feels weak. It struggled to pull fine debris off the floor, and after a full cycle, I could still see dirt on the pool floor. High gallons per hour numbers don't mean much if the actual suction isn't there. Dolphins, with their corded design, has a direct power source and has the strength to scrub and pull everything from sand to silt. The AquaSense 2? It feels like it was just running at half power the entire time. I'm assuming it was to save battery life, but either way, I wasn't impressed. The most frustrating part? Debris dump. The real kicker came at the end. Just like the original AquaSense 2 pulled the same frustrating stunt, dumping debris right back into my pool the second I lifted it out. I watched as dirt, leaves, and whatever else I had picked up slipped through the loosely sealed filter compartment and floated away like it never cleaned in the first place. I tried lifting it slowly, tilting it, even letting it drain longer, but nothing worked. No matter what, it still found a way to undo its own cleaning. Filtration. Big talk, small results. The AquaSense 2 brags about its dual-layer filtration system designed to handle both large and small debris. But after putting it to the test, I wasn't impressed, especially after using a Dolphin with nanofilters. Let's put the AquaSense 2 side by side with the Quantum's nanofilters XXL basket. Look at the pleated fabric on the Quantum. It traps the tiniest microparticles, and when it's time to clean, the bottom drops open for an easy, mess-free empty. Now take a look at the Beatbot's filter. It's smaller, lacks a drop-down release, and is noticeably harder to clean. And here's the real problem. After every cleaning cycle, I still saw debris settled at the bottom of my pool. Maybe because these filters aren't actually ultrafine. Ultrafine filters? Not even close. If you've ever used Dolphin's nanofilters, you know they grab everything, even the finest grit. The AquaSense 2 filters, on the other hand, feel like basic mesh screens. So if you're expecting that crystal clear, polished pool look after a cycle, you're in for a letdown. This is just standard mesh. Take a close-up look. Now compare it to Dolphin's standard filters. And finally compare it to Dolphin's nanofilters. See the difference? It's night and day. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I wouldn't buy a pool robot without real low-micron filters. And after testing over 30 cleaners, that rule still holds. You can literally see the difference when you compare what gets trapped in a true nanofilter versus what slips right through a basic mesh screen. So don't fall for the ultrafine marketing hype on the AquaSense 2. It's not ultrafine. It's not even close. Connectivity. Smart until it hits the water. Like its predecessor, the AquaSense 2 is marketed with Wi-Fi connectivity. And just like the original, the Wi-Fi drops the moment it hits the water. It turns out Wi-Fi can't travel through water. So you can't monitor what it's doing in real time. You have no idea if it's stuck, if it actually cleaned the whole pool, or if it's just circling one corner. No remote control, no progress updates, and no way to adjust its path mid-cycle. For something advertised as smart, it's anything but when it's cleaning. And then there's the call-over feature, which lets you summon the robot to the edge of the pool before the battery dies. This sounds useful until you realize it's a band-aid for a bad design. Most pool robots have a handle, so pulling them out isn't a struggle in the first place. Plus, if you don't catch it in time, the battery dies and it sinks right back to the bottom. Instead of solving a real problem, it just creates a new one. And that brings up another question. Why does this pool cleaner even need an app? The best models don't require constant check-ins or micromanaging. A simple weekly timer would do the trick, but you don't even get that. Instead, you get an app-dependent system that doesn't even have a weekly scheduling system. Why, you ask? The answer is simple. This thing can't run for 2 days, much less an entire week. The Fakespot factor, throwing up red flags. I saw a ton of love for this robot before I bought it, but I just didn't buy it. A lot of robots lately haven't been living up to the online reviews. And if you're like me, you don't drop $1,000 on something without digging into reviews first. But let's be real, not all online feedback can be trusted. That's where Mozilla's Fakespot comes in, analyzing reviews via AI algorithms to flag potential fakes and manipulated ratings. Another F rating. Some of those glowing 5-star reviews might not be as real as they seem. And that tracks with what I've experienced. When a product gets an F for review reliability, that's a major red flag. If the AquaSense 2 really delivered on its promises, why is it getting an F grade? Overpromising and underdelivering. The bottom line, the AquaSense 2 still misses the mark where it matters most. A cordless pool robot is supposed to be easy and convenient, but between the constant recharging, short battery life, and underwhelming suction, any so-called improvements are completely overshadowed. Why corded pool cleaners still win. After testing dozens of robotic pool cleaners, one thing is clear. Corded models like the Dolphin Premier, Quantum, and Sigma run circles around their cordless competition. They have stronger motors, smarter navigation, and best of all, they never run out of power mid-clean. With a corded robot, you can set a weekly timer, let it do its thing, and just rinse the filter once a week. Compare that to the AquaSense 2, where you're constantly charging and recharging and pulling it in and out of the pool after every single cycle. And here's the biggest issue with cordless models: battery limitations. To conserve power, they often sacrifice suction strength and scrubbing ability. Corded models don't have that problem. They scrub harder, have better filtration, and can automatically clean your pool daily without lifting a finger. Comparing the AquaSense 2, Dolphin Premier. The Premier gives you real choices when it comes to filtration. Multimedia, nano filter cartridges for fine debris, a leaf bag for bigger messes, or standard mesh for everyday cleaning. There's even a disposable debris bag option for messy cleanups. Plus, its anti-tangle swivel cord keeps it moving freely no matter how long the cleaning cycle runs. AquaSense 2? Sure, there's no cord to tangle, but that also means a limited battery, weaker suction, and heavier lift when pulling it out of the pool. Unlike the Premier, you're stuck with basic mesh filters that struggle with fine debris. Dolphin Sigma. The Sigma isn't just powerful, it's smart. With dual scrubbing brushes and a built-in gyroscope, it covers every inch of the pool. And with real-time tracking, you actually know what it's doing when it's cleaning. From gallons filtered, cycle progress, and more, you can watch the cleaning progress on the app, not just after it's done. The AquaSense 2, you're flying blind. The moment it hits the water, your phone and the robot stop communicating. You won't know if it cleaned properly, got stuck in a loop, or missed all the pool until you haul it out and check it for yourself. Final verdict. So what's my final verdict on the Beatbot AquaSense 2? It's pool nerd disapproved. The AquaSense 2 might have a fresh name and new marketing, but it still makes the same old mistakes. The whole point of a cordless pool cleaner is supposed to be convenience. But that falls apart fast when you're constantly recharging it, watching it randomly wander, and dealing with a filter that just doesn't trap fine debris. For the same price, or just a little bit more, you could get a premium Dolphin with a solid track record, great support, and actual cleaning power. That's why I wouldn't even consider the AquaSense 2 over any corded robot. Dropping over $1,000 on something that struggles with suction, has spotty navigation, and needs constant babysitting? No thanks. When I buy a pool cleaner, I want it to actually clean. My top 2 priorities are high suction power and weekly scheduling. And after testing this one, it's missing both. There's no way I would recommend it. Throw in the so-called smart features that stop working underwater and the F grade on Mozilla's Fakespot, and justifying this price tag gets even harder. This thing needs daily attention when most of us want a set it and forget it solution. Consider a corded alternative. If you actually want a hands-free pool cleaning experience, go with a reputable corded unit. Constant power, no batteries to worry about or hauling it in and out of the pool to recharge. Smarter scheduling. Set a weekly timer and forget about it. No daily check-ins required. Reliable filtration. Top models like Dolphin use real pleated filters like nano filters, so you see a real difference in cleaning performance. For over $1,000, you'd expect a pool robot that makes life easier. Instead, you're stuck recharging it constantly, pulling it in and out after every cycle, and hoping it didn't miss half your pool. And those smart features? Useless without a steady Wi-Fi connection. Unless you want to spend more time taking care of your pool cleaner than your actual pool, skip the AquaSense 2. A proven corded model from a reputable brand will save you time, money, and a whole lot of frustration. As always, if you want to keep nerding out over your pool, head on over to my deals page at thepoolnerd.com/deals, where I post the best deals on robotic pool cleaners and other top technology for your pool.